WBOSS Bossman Radio.
Drive Time with your hosts, DJ and KJ.
Good Tuesday morning, and welcome to Drive Time, brought to you exclusively by Jim Peach Motors and Peach Chevrolet. First thing out of the gate, like and share the video, and the 12th clue will be released later in the program. Like and share, tag friends, 12th clue on the way.
Coming up. We promise. Are you going to ride it?
I can.
Okay. Well, it's on you then.
I'll take care of that. But
I'm officially retired at this point for just a little while.
Good morning, everybody in with us. Good crowd, up over 100. I'm shocked that we were able to retain not quite the 600 that we were accustomed to, but it's still going. So good morning to each of you. Thank you for joining us on Drive Time. We have a very special guest with us today, Gray Garrett. Gray with the After Hours Clinic here at DW McMillan Hospital. Going to have some interesting stuff for us here in the next 45 minutes or so. And Gray, thank you for being here and being brave enough to get in the driver's seat.
I'm so flattered to be here. Thanks so much for having us.
Now, if you're not overly familiar with how we roll here, we have snacks, we have water. You're welcome to both. I've had most of my shots, so you should be in good shape there. It's common source water. That's just kind of the way we do it here. But
that means we get more patients.
That's it.
Sharing the drink.
It's also gluten-free. I don't know if you know that.
I'm all gluten-free.
And Paula Pettis providing us some cake pops. Look forward to getting into these a little bit later. And I guess those are softballs. So thank you, Paula, for providing that here for us on Drive Time this morning. Ken, first things first, before we get to Gray and the information from the After Hours Clinic, job well done on the scavenger hunt. People don't know really the effort you had in it, and of course how taxing it was on you and your family. I certainly appreciate the patience of Jesse James and Kinsley, but it was quite the task to undertake, and you pulled it off.
It was a task, and I want to say this. I want to say happy birthday to Kinsley this morning. She is 7 years old.
All right.
Today, and she has reminded me how many times she was 7 years old since about 6 o'clock this morning.
The big 7, that's a big one.
Yeah, the big 7. So I do want to say a couple of quick things before we get going with somebody who's definitely classed up this program way more than we do. I want to explain and I'll say a couple. I've seen some questions about the clues. So give me 2 minutes and I want to explain something. This will help everybody.
Take 2-ish.
Yeah,
I'll have a pop.
This is the Dash for Cash recap in like 2-minute form. Everybody said, well, where's the black and white? Where's this? Where's that? Well, here's the deal. If you turn out of Peach Ford, if you turn left out of Peach Ford, there's a red light right there. Okay,
I've ran it many times.
You can you probably won't keep that to yourself. Yeah. You can actually turn left right there, and you can actually go up and out through P Ridge, who watches this show and supports this show.
I like it. Yeah. Okay. Keep going. Yeah.
And when you get out to the end of P Ridge, you veer onto what road? Highway 41. Well, I'm a big Allman Brothers fan. Everybody and their brother that knows me knows that. And the night that I came up with the whole scavenger hunt thing, I've told everybody I was watching a video on YouTube about that mic that you're speaking in. Okay. Just before that video, I was watching the 1996 Austin City Limits version of Ramblin' Man by the Allman Brothers. And in that song, it talks about Highway 41. And so when I went back inside, I sat there and started thinking Highway 41 and all this kind of thing. And so I came up with the AT&T, tower area. Now, the thing is, travel the roads, the woods, the hills. Well, from that part down there, even if you go on downtown, there are black and white signs everywhere. Highway 41 to your left. The red light right before churches. You veer onto, what's the name of that street right there?
Persimmon?
Persimmon. You veer off of that onto what? Highway 41. Okay. And that was in the very first clue. And the very first clue said about traveling the roads and hills, it was right there. The second clue dealt with the light. Well, guess what's on top of that tower out there?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say a light.
Yeah, and it blinks. And sometimes it's dim and sometimes it's bright.
And it's certainly lonely.
And it's lonely. It's definitely lonely. Okay. So Memory Lane, the reason I talked about Memory Lane is because that place used to be the AT&T, they done all kinds of a switch. There was all kinds of things there. The actual big red things on top of that tower are microwave antennas. And that's how a lot of the communications in Bruton came in and out of Bruton was through that area. Well, I'm not going to lie, but I think you told the story the other day. I've kind of been into that radio thing since I was young, and had a, I don't even see him tell this, but I guess you told it the other day. But I was pirate radioing it up when I was in the 6th grade, and I will never forget Coach Cotton calling me to the office up there, and the one and only time I've ever lied to him in my life. He said, "You know anything about this radio station?" I said, "I don't know what you're talking about." And he knew it was me. He didn't push it, but he knew it was me. Anyhow, that's where the Memory Lane came from, because there's a lot of, out there, time stands still. Think about it. That's old school technology. Everybody now, we use phones, we text, all this stuff. They don't use that technology anymore. It's old. There are repeaters on top of that tower. Number one, I think that's probably number two. I talked about a pad, in the clues. Well, the pad, that tower sits on concrete pads.
That's right.
Okay. I told everybody, don't worry about the fence. Well, the reason I said that is because there's a fence all the way around that tower. Don't worry about it, because that the cache was nowhere near that. It was in the opposite end, down there in the back right corner. Okay. It had, it was not taped to the tower. It wasn't on the tower. It wasn't close to the tower. It wasn't close to the building. So I thought that it'd be, kind of pertinent to come in this morning and tell, hey, because I saw a lot of, comments about, hey, the clues don't match. Well, if you read them, they do, but and the thing is I just kind of wanted to explain my line of thinking where everybody can understand. Okay, if you start reading through all of them, maybe you can see now where I was going with it. You read them all.
No, I thought it matched up perfectly. I do have one question. Going back to the Allman Brothers and your love for them. I don't remember you playing them on our Tuesday night loop. I remember Two Live Crew. I remember Beastie Boys.
Right. I didn't.
LL Cool J.
I didn't, and I'll tell you why. We at that point in time, it was more about
spring break.
And Allman Brothers wasn't typically something that you go down and play on spring break. It was more what you just said, Candyman and all that kind of stuff. What was it? Naughty by Nature.
Yeah.
So we wasn't hitting up on the Allman Brothers that night. We were too worried about the Beastie Boys and ODB and Wu-Tang and all that kind of stuff. So, so anyway, I just wanted to say, there was a lot of talk about pics. Well, there was all kind of pictures of people posted all over, and I'm not just in the Drive Time group, all over Facebook and Instagram and all this stuff. And I saw some people that had posted pics of them actually walking around out that way. So that's why I mentioned about the pics or what have you. So anyhow, I mean, I could go on, but I mean, I'm not going to psychoanalyze every clue because
it was good. It was well done.
I just all I wanted to do was make a point for everybody to understand and know that, you know, in no way was the clues meant or even like trying to mislead anyone, nothing like that at all. They were all meant to take you directly to it. And I said from day one that the first clue, I promise you, was in the first clue. I mean, the first clue said exactly where it was at. It
was all good. It was all good.
So, you know, anyway, didn't mean to bog Ray down with this. She's like, I really don't want to be part of this narrative, to quote the great Taylor Swift. And I only know that because I got a daughter who makes me listen to that every single day and every night. I've seen every Taylor Swift video, every Taylor Swift album, music comes up. Let me ask you a question. And do you know how much it costs to buy a ticket to go see a Taylor Swift concert?
I wouldn't have any idea.
Okay, well, the cheap seats are like $1,200 a piece. I ain't joking. Because we looked into it, I said, baby, you got to keep watching on YouTube. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, that wow, I couldn't believe it. But anyhow, so I didn't mean to bog you down with that.
No problem. Well done. One of the great things that added to the dash was the support that we got from the community in terms of upping the monetary pot, the prize pot, and we're going to get to all those. We're going to
tomorrow's show, unless you got something planned I don't know about. Tomorrow's show is dedicated to nothing but that.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, that was overwhelming in and of itself.
We're going to spend the whole hour-ish on just that. Okay, and talking about all that.
Some of the folks that helped us was D. Devitt Millen Hospital.
That's right.
The After Hours Clinic.
That's right.
Also our clinic in Flomaton. I'm not exactly sure I guess that's the, what's our title?
Flomaton Medical Center.
Flomaton Medical Center.
Yes.
All three of those entities came in to add to the prize pack. We certainly appreciated that support with the monetary contributions. We're excited about having you here, Gray. You were the nurse practitioner.
I am. I'm a nurse practitioner, and I am one of the providers that work at the After Hours Clinic.
And I'm going to give you an opportunity here in 2 seconds to talk a little more in detail about that. Okay. I had an experience there at the After Hours Clinic. I guess it was 2 basketball seasons ago. Both of my children had flu-like symptoms. Of course, like it always is, it was in the middle of the night. At 10:30, we came home from a basketball game. We went in, got signed in, and within 45 minutes, I think it was, we were diagnosed, given our first round of antibiotics, and sent home. With prescriptions in hand. I was overwhelmed at the response that you guys gave us that night. And of course, we've been there a couple of other times. You've had both my children in there, but so proud to have that service here in Bruton. Want you to speak a little more to that about what you guys do and kind of the direction it's going.
Well, we're so proud of our clinic too. It's been such a labor of love, and I can say wholeheartedly that I absolutely love my job. The whole design of the clinic is something that you mentioned, where you come in after your physician's office is closed. We work in tandem with Bruton Medical Center and the Fleming providers, keeping the continuity of care. What we provide, we send to them the following day. We do have lab work that is done in the clinic, as you suggested, with the it is resulted that moment, that day. You can get results there and are treated for your illness. Our goal is under 90 minutes for you to be in the door and out the door. Sometimes we have a high volume in a short period of time, and that can be a little bit longer, but our absolute goal is 90 minutes. And
you were blowing up on here, by the way. I mean, you're just getting rave reviews. You need to stay a while.
I'm so flattered.
Man.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'm glad you're here. I thought we was going to have the 20, 30 OGs in this morning, and that was it.
You were blowing up.
Well, I love friends, so maybe I have a few out there. That's wonderful.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, the administration at the hospital, I think, had an insight and a dream for this clinic for a long period of time. There was a nugget of care that wasn't covered after the physicians' offices were closed, and I came from the ER as a nurse, and so certainly after 5 p.m. we would have an influx of low acuity patients coming in. So this is hopefully filling a void for everyone, and we're having good numbers, and everybody really does enjoy what we do at the clinic.
Such a great team of people there at the hospital. Of course, Chris Griffin, the administrator, has been there for several years. Chris is not a stranger to this community, does such a fantastic job making sure the overall operation of the hospital does what it's supposed to do. Stacy Hines, the director of physician services and the business office, of course, does a great job as well. We have Mike Myrick.
I got to tell you this. Hazel has just said that she's named after Liz Garrett's two favorite people, Hayes and Gray.
I'll have to ask Liz about that. if that's where it comes from, yeah.
Well, my name is Gray Hayes.
Yeah.
So my first name's Gray. My husband's brother's name is Gray. And there's this terror child that was Gray Garrett, my husband's brother's friend that lived down the street that harassed my mother-in-law, and his name was Hayes. So when I started dating Kirk and my name was Gray Hayes, it was such a point of just funny laughter because it was two people.
Was that terror child's last name Wood?
It was. Hayes Wood.
Well, I am not shocked about that at all. Let me tell you, that is not shocking.
We also have Mike Meyer, the medical center, medical clinic manager. And of course, Jason Daniel handles a lot of the promotions and marketing there on behalf of the hospital and the clinic there in Flomaton. And of course, when you have good people around you, I know it makes your job a little more enjoyable, certainly easier to function throughout the course of the day. But talk a little bit, if you will, about the concept of after hours. You know, I think it's neat. Our hospital's had it, maybe 2 years, year and a half, 2 years. Where did all this kind of come from?
Well, it came from Chris and Stacy. They had an idea that this clinic would do well in Bruton. I am a nurse practitioner. I went to the ER after I graduated from nurse practitioner program at UAB. Worked there for about a year. In that time, we inched towards getting this clinic sort of established. And it came sort of from the emergency room, knowing that there was a void. And now our clinic is 100 steps from the emergency room, which is such a wonderful thing. And we have all the resources from the hospital at our fingertips that we can use to support our clinic. So, you know, if your condition does become a little bit more emergent while you're there, we put you in a wheelchair and we take you down to the emergency room, and you can get the higher level of care. And that, I think, are the wonderful things about our clinic.
If you're signed in at the after hours clinic, and it is deemed that you need to go to the emergency room for services, your paperwork and whatever copay or finances you have go with you. It's not an additional expense, correct?
That is correct. It all goes just down the pipeline over to the ER, and whatever expenses you have there, it's integrated in to that bill that will come later. But one thing, you know, if you do, like, let's just say you're in the clinic and you all of a sudden become short of breath, we do not have to call an ambulance to our clinic. You are 100 steps from the ER, and that's just a really nice thing.
Well, let me ask you this for planning purposes. May 19th is going to be on a Saturday. I would like, if you can work it out, for you to possibly be on call that day. I have a little race I have to run called the 109. Really? That afternoon. And medical services
you actually need
will quite possibly be required.
You really need to be there.
And
I mean,
off premises, we may need the ambulance on standby. What do you think?
Just kind of put that in your book of appointments, if you don't mind. May 19th.
Yeah, I've gotten to be friends with those guys over there. I'll put a bug in their ear. Yeah.
Yeah, we need that. That's a true statement right there. Now, I did get to witness a pre-run one night last week, and we didn't have any medical attention available. We did have about 20 people up on top of the hill that wanted to kill us, I think. Yes. But, you know, at any rate, there was a lot of hard breathing and panting and sweating. And I was a little bit concerned about, you know, DJ came on camera after that. We didn't see the other guy because he was too busy trying to hide, not to show that he had
couldn't talk.
He couldn't talk, and that wheel was really bothering him. So, you know.
Well, let me ask you this, Gray, with it being baseball and softball season, And of course, we've already seen several of them, incidences at our park. The kid gets hit with a baseball in the face, maybe the nose, the mouth, or whatnot. Is that something that the person needs to run to the ER for, or would they be better served going to the after-hours clinic if it was on a Thursday night at 7:30?
If a child gets hit in the head with a baseball or baseball bat, we feel that it is best to send those children to the emergency room.
Okay.
If you fall on your wrist, sprain your ankle, we can see you in the after-hours clinic. We'll do x-rays, get the x-ray back, hopefully within 30 minutes or so. We have the ability to splint. If you have a leg or an arm fracture, we'll splint it. We'll give you a CD of the x-ray that you received and get you to your primary care the next day and hopefully to ortho soon thereafter. So you can see how it is such works in tandem, with the primary care providers. And we can get, especially on a Friday night, we'll get you splinted up. You'll just have to be, take a rest over the weekend. But Monday morning, you can go to your primary care doctor and see ortho, who does come to Bruton on Mondays.
You actually did that for my son. He had a baseball injury last year.
That's right.
And you were able to splint him up, and we were at Andrews, I think, the next day.
That's right.
The very next day. And, of course, all that was done through your office, and it was easy. But we certainly appreciated that service because, once again, that was a nighttime injury, after-hours injury, and it was seamless for us. It was a painful experience, but it was made easier through the hard work of all of you there at the after-hours clinic.
I think you even took a CD of the x-ray down to Andrews.
We did.
And you had the report in hand of everything we did. Okay.
Yeah, it was easy. Well, it was very easy, and we were certainly appreciative of that.
Well, good. Good.
What about fish hooks and fingers?
Absolutely, fish hooks.
And you can imagine who might have just posted that. Our friend Booker.
Hey, Booker, how you doing, buddy? I sure hope you're doing better. I know. Well, I hope that he's doing well with that hand. We got that out.
Those were very important hands, by the way.
No, he was very helpful.
Everybody's hands are important, but JoJo Booker's are very, very important.
That was brutal. I saw pictures. That was brutal.
I just want to say that he taught me how to use, what do you call those pliers? Is it needle nose pliers?
Yes.
I didn't know how. First of all, I didn't know what they were. Secondly, he showed me how to use them. So this was a group effort, but we got that out, and I just hope hopefully that's repaired and healed well.
I want you to answer this as honestly as you can without violating any patient privileges out there. Did he cry?
No tears.
Come on.
Not one.
He did not cry.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
There you have it.
There's a little sweat from my brow from those flowers.
That's great.
I have a little top 8 at 8 that we wanted to share of the top reasons why everyone should go to the after hours.
I love this. Now this is great for the listening audience right here. The top 8 at 8.
Do either of you want this?
No,
thank you.
I'm going to have it if you don't.
No.
Okay.
I'm still listen. I pick about this all the time because DJ and everybody else refers to the listening audience, and there's a camera sitting right in front of us that everybody's watching us on. But I love it. I think the fact that we still talk about the listening, maybe people are just listening, not watching. I mean, there ain't nothing really to look at when it's just me and DJ. Like I said, Gray is.
Speak for yourself, sir.
That's a good point here that Paula Pettis makes. Her copay is the same at your office as it is at a regular doctor's office.
That is true, Paula. We are designed to be, as a primary care facility. So whatever your copay is at your primary care doctor, it's the same at the after-hours clinic. That's right.
I'm also getting a news flash here. Your brother-in-law, Gray, is coming through town today, and he's going to leave his 4 kids with y'all for the next 5 days.
That's exciting. I'm so happy.
Wait a minute.
Nothing like a lot of notice.
We're going to take him down to Liz's house. That's where we're going.
Wait a minute.
The quads are coming to town for a week.
Hey, well, did you know about that?
Uncle Kirk says, come on.
No, we're pushing him to Liz's house.
Camp Kirk.
Yeah.
Wow.
Opening the day at 4.
Listen, can we put cameras up in there for that? That would be a great weekend reality TV show.
Look, Kirk's a patient man. He volunteer coaches at the YMCA. He understands that this will be nothing for him.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something. I don't care who you are, Patience, Confucius, whoever, 4 kids. I've told Gray many times, God bless you, man. I mean,
But here's the kicker. They're dropping off Hayes Wood also.
Oh,
Well,
hey, as I said, we're going to Liz's house. But I will say this about my.
Send Hayes to Liz's house.
now that
would be great. That would be great.
now that just got real right there. I can tell you, I had the opportunity to talk to Hayes the other night for about an hour, and have not got to catch up with Hayes in probably, I don't know, 15 years or so. And Hayes might be crazier now than he was then. Do you agree with that? Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you this. He sure talks like it. I can tell you that. He may not do some of the stupid stuff, but he's still, anyway, he's still crazy. Not that he ain't no stupid guy. He just did a lot of crazy stuff back in those days. Anyhow, let's hear the top 8 today. Yeah.
All right, drum roll, everybody.
Oh, well, I got to get a drum roll.
Yeah.
I don't have one of those for some reason. Wait a minute. I got a breaking news sound. How about that? Now, we'll just let you do it. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, top 8 today.
I can hold something if I need to.
Sure.
Hey, let DJ be Vanna White over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vanna. There you go.
There you go. Come on, Vanna.
So, first one is, we are open when your physician's office is closed. Weekdays, 4:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. and weekends, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Okay, so that means that when you missed your appointment that morning and you really need to get in to see somebody, you can come on up there.
That's right. You come home from work, your kid's got a fever, you come home from, your shift, and you don't feel well. You're obviously physician's office is closed at 5 p.m. We're here.
Can I tell a real quick story? I mean,
Sure.
a 15-second story. I got a phone call one day last week from someone, and I'm not going to say who, that said, "Can you please end the dash for cash?" And I was like, well, I'm putting clues out. People are canceling their doctor's appointments because they're hunting for cash. That's a true story. Okay, I'm not joking.
It's not often you get a chance to find a golden egg.
Yeah, so right. So I just want to make sure that if they're out hunting or not, well, whatever, they can do that. That's good. That's real good.
All right, number 2, you do not need an appointment. Walk-ins are welcome. All right, number 3 is, we're the best choice for your late afternoon or evening non-emergent emergencies. I'm quickly going to go through just the some of the top things that we see in the after-hours clinic: fever, ear pain, joint pain, rash, nasal congestion, sore throat and cough, fracture, laceration with repair. We can do stitches, we can do staples, and we can do dermabind. Eye discomfort, asthma, wheezing, minor burns, and wound care.
You just described me to a T. I mean, almost except for the stitches part, I have all those elements.
Right now.
I'll see you this afternoon.
Right. Absolutely.
The only thing you missed there is something for the medulla oblongata.
Yeah. I know that's a kind of a new area of study, but I need y'all to look into that.
Yeah.
I'm not
Gray,
pleased.
I've been studying on it, and it is a condition caused by trauma as some years ago.
30 plus.
30 plus, and it happened due to a Memorex meltdown. And we'll tell you more about.
Sounds super serious. I don't know about that.
Hey, let me tell you something. It really was super serious. It happened on second hole, which made it even more serious. Okay, so we'll get into that after the show. I'll fill you in where you can kind of do a little, maybe a little diagnosis or something.
All right. Sounds exciting. All right. The After Hours Clinic is located in the D.W. McMillan Memorial Hospital with access to lab and x-ray. Results while you wait and prompt treatment once diagnosed.
Got a question.
Yes.
If somebody doesn't have medical insurance, are they accepted at the After Hours Clinic, or?
They are accepted at the After Hours Clinic. It's a minimum of $30 copay. Where's the 75? And is it a total flat fee? No. To see the physician, it's a total of 75, but you pay 30 minimum upfront.
Yeah.
If your condition becomes more emergent, no need to call the ambulance. Our clinic is 100 steps from the emergency room. 2 full-time providers, including a physician assistant new to the After Hours Clinic, Allison Watson, and myself. And I just want a good clap for Allison. This has been her first week, and she's done great things. in the clinic, we have breathing treatments with wheezing and shortness of breath, as well as the first dose medications after the close of the pharmacy. This is important where if you have, after, you're coming in, you're wheezing, we can have the nebulizer treatments with the medications given there to get you through the night. Then the first dose medications after the pharmacy closes, you've got a child with an ear infection, we can give them the proper medication that evening, and you can get it filled the next morning. So it's just a comfort to the parents and to everyone that you could get that started. And then number 8 is we love our job, and I can wholeheartedly say that is true. This has been such a labor of love for everyone involved, and it's a nice feeling to love what you do.
I can tell you, I can attest to that. I've mentioned a couple of times we've been under y'all's care there after hours, and it's been nothing but a great experience. I don't know if you were able to watch any of the show yesterday. We had Bob Jones on. I'd never met Bob prior to yesterday with United Bank, but he talked about the importance of rural Alabama and the things that have to happen for our rural communities to continue to flourish and sustain. And a big part of that is healthcare. Mm-hmm. A big part of that for us here locally is McMillan Hospital. And I've had nothing but great experiences. Mike Meyer, we spoke of him earlier. He was in there when my son was born. And I can't tell you, when I was sitting there and I saw Mike, in the room, in terms of anxiety, it was a calming effect, knowing I had a personal friend in there and having a familiar face, having that relationship. We talk about relationships a lot, and just having that relationship away from the workplace. I understand things can happen. Mm-hmm. Things can go wrong sometimes, but having him in there, having you there in your position, and of course, everybody there at the hospital, the entire staff, I don't know. I can't say enough good things about our hospital and our healthcare. Mm-hmm. Very fortunate to have all of y'all here. No,
just to clarify, Mike was in there as a nurse in the room, not as to support you.
Right. I think he was head of the
That's right.
Head of the services at that time. Yeah.
I was thinking, gosh, you and Mike were pretty close that was that.
But no, he was, and he wasn't only, I think Shay was in there at that time as well. And a lot of familiar faces. Of course, the nurses there on the hall were all people that we knew and felt comfortable with. But we've had nothing but great experiences at the hospital.
I'm not from Bruton. I've lived here for 10 years.
Neither is Paula Pettis.
But I, as I started working at the hospital, it made me feel like I was really part of something. And I can say that I have a lot of friends that do work there. And I'm so proud of that. I love the hospital, and it's such a great place to be.
I agree.
One thing, and DJ mentioned it a while ago, Rob Jones with United Bank was in yesterday, and he spoke about how important having a healthcare locally is. And I don't know if we can stress that enough. Mm-hmm. A town, a community, we cannot flourish without our hospital, without our medical center. We cannot. And, whatever we can do to try to help, promote that, put it out there, get people in, obviously, we're here to help because, as you said, there's a lot of families there, a lot of families work there, a lot of great people there, a lot of people we all know. And, we've got to have, that we've got to have healthcare in our communities, but we want that hospital, we want that place, those people to be the ones providing it.
Absolutely. I don't think that can be said enough.
Right. I agree. I think we're so lucky to have the physicians that we do in town. They are wonderful and provide such a service for our hospital as well, in the ER and as a hospitalist. Dr. Nelson and Dr. Battaglia, I want to mention, are also the collaborating physicians for the clinic. They both have been so instrumental in the success of our after-hours clinic, and we want to thank them so much.
Are you aware of any Cobra Kai activity around the hospital, in and around the hospital?
Cobra Kai?
Yeah.
You're going to have to define that for me.
Just keep security on the lookout. You got to keep that stuff beat back, kind of like the flu.
I want to ask, this question has been asked. People are wanting you to declare either Team DJ or Team T-Bone in this feud that has been running for quite some time. And, of course, leading up to the race that we have coming up, there are many people on here wanting you to declare which team that you choose.
Well, I am real excited about being able to help resuscitate this gentleman right here to follow.
There's only one right answer, Gray.
Yeah. So I don't know. It differs from day to day, but once we get the ambulance going, and I look like just a hero in the back of that ambulance getting the CPR going. We'll see.
Oh man, I can see it now, man. I mean, I see the whole scene from the opening of General Hospital. Like, you remember when that door slammed on the back of the ambulance? There's DJ laid up in the back of it on one side and Burnham, and they can't get both of them in because they're too big. Both of them are, so they got two ambulances down there, and you put Burnham in the back of one, all of a sudden the ambulance just stops and quits. Here's Gray running in to save the day. I'm going to tell you something, DJ. You better hope somebody's there if it comes down to that mouth-to-mouth thing, because I'm going to be honest with you.
I took CPR renewal last week, and we have these pocket breathing protectors. You can't do mouth-to-mouth in the hospital now.
I didn't know that.
No, you can't.
So that's gone now.
No, that's in an emergency. I mean, I think like on the street as a good Samaritan.
Have you ever seen the movie Sandlot?
No.
Okay, so let me put it like this. So if DJ falls out at about the 39-yard line, if
what yard line?
The far 39. Yeah, I'm just throwing the number out. Okay. If he falls out at that yard line and somebody runs out there and gives him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, or whatever you want to, he calls it. He'll have some other name for it, I'm sure. My question to that is that still, like, do they still teach that, or are you supposed to walk out there?
They do still teach that. How about I hook up with your wife and maybe she could do
my
that?
Wife, twice.
He's been married and divorced.
We were in there together. Okay. You saw how good we get along.
He's a two-timer, Twice. Hey, listen, but I'm sure she cares enough about him to go out there and maybe kick him while he's down.
I would hope.
Hey, I promise you, Hayes Wood would say that.
Well, anyway, I'll do it for you.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean,
I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're waiting on me to come out there and kiss you, I'm telling you right now, that ain't
not kiss. It's resuscitate.
Okay. Resuscitate. Hey, tomato, whatever. Okay. I'm telling you right now, that's not going to happen. But so when you do take, honest question. So when you do take CPR, they do still teach mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. I mean, is that part of being CPR certification?
I mean, certainly, I think so. It's a hospital policy that we don't do.
Oh no, right. But I mean, like like lifeguards. How when you first learned CPR. I know when I was in the military, the basic training, that they taught us that, and you learned, doing the chest compressions and all the other kind of things.
I may misspeak, but I think that it's up to the personal discretion. I mean,
I got you.
If you feel like you would like to do that, then certainly go ahead. But if you have some sort of other option, then it's just a personal preference, I would imagine.
Right. Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I'd be more inclined to try to pick. Well, I don't know. That might not work either, but I'd be more inclined to try to pick him up and maybe do the Heimlich maneuver and maybe help him start, breathing, because that's all I would know to do.
Let's talk about T-Bone.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah.
I'm talking about a Kai right now. So, yeah. Anyway, I ain't gonna go there with that. We Gray is here, and we're not gonna get into all that. I do want to say this. My wife feels the same exact way about Gray. You can tell my wife every time she comes in. She's been up there to see you guys. She says, Gray loves her job. You can tell she does, and she really, really, really appreciates the way that you make her feel when she comes in and has been in up there.
Well, thank you so much. It's not hard to be nice to people, and especially when you love what you do. So, appreciate that.
That's a great point what she just made right there. And we have said that since day one of this show. It's not hard to be nice to people.
It's not.
It is not hard.
Doesn't cost anything.
It doesn't cost anything.
Just to be nice and decent. Don't always have to get along. Don't always have to agree.
Good
But
morning,
we can be
Rachel.
nice and decent.
That's true.
Yes. So it really is. But no, great thing there. 4:30 to what?
4:30 till 11.
To 11. Now let me ask you this: Are you working 7 days a week?
No, I'm not.
I was about to say that you can't burn that candle but so long, can you? I mean,
no, I did work a little bit more than 50% for about 5 months, but we have now hired Allison Watson. She started this week, so I finally am able to get a little reprieve. But these last 5 months have been as I said, just a real labor of love. My husband at home really needs a pat on the back. He got the kids to bed and really fed and did their homework and was Mr. Mom there for a little while. So it worked out.
Listen, I will pat Kirk on the back any day of the week until I get that bill from the office down there. And I'm sure he feels the same way about me once a month when he opens up an envelope from somebody. I don't know who. No, I mean, but I'm saying, no, and I'm picking at Kirk because he knows I'm just like him when it comes to that. I got that James in me. He's got that Garrett in him. He got all that honest about.
There's always two boys in that household, Kirk and Kirk's brother.
Well, that's right. I will be honest with you. Kirk, didn't you graduate with my brother? Yeah. So here's the thing. I graduated with Gray, okay? And Kirk graduated with my brother, Josh. So the thing is like, I never, I had the distinct pleasure of knowing Gray and Kirk, and I don't know if I think that's a true statement you just made.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I really do. I mean, Kirk was, he was the only one that I really ever heard much about. And I did hear about Gray a lot, because like I said, we graduated together, but not so much being the chosen one, if that's a word.
Hey, I want to friend Gray for a minute. He is a fabulous person and father, and he and his wife Kate do an awesome job with those quadruplets. So
yes, he is.
Kirk he is Mr. Good Samaritan, Johnny Be Good, but
yes,
Gray's awesome too.
No, Gray is a good guy. I do have to kind of question some of his choices in friends, and the reason I say that is he and Hazel still meet up at least once a year for a Bama game, and I have to kind of question Hayes' sanity, Gray's sanity a little bit, because as Hazel, if anybody knows Hazel, he would understand that just being around talking to him for a little while, when you leave, you leave there and you're like, what just happened? So, oh yeah. And I graduated with Hayes and Gray, and I love both those guys. Anyway, Hayes is the great. He asked me the other day, what is Hazel? He asked me that, DJ. I said, let me tell you what it is. Code word for greatest party planner of all time. That's what it is. Yes. So
I'm getting a report here right now from Elizabeth Weaver Watson that Kirk made a 40 on the ACT.
Wow.
40. I hope that my children
That's
got a few of those chromosomes.
That's not bad.
A 40.
Let me tell you something. I made a 40 on the geometry test. A bunch of them.
Hey, let me tell you something.
A bunch of them.
Let me tell you something.
I made a lot of 40s.
I got to college and took calculus, and let me tell you this. I've seen hockey scores that was higher than my first calculus test. Okay? You a 40? Wow.
I don't think the ACT goes up to 40.
Hey.
Just say it.
So I'm guessing you made a 1800 on the SAT then, right?
No.
I mean,
I took it 3 times and had a total of a 40.
Yeah.
Hey, we all totaled 40 right there.
But hey, DJ, do you realize that you and I both could add up our IQs and they wouldn't equal like half of Gray's?
Well, obviously I missed the classes on nutrition. I mean, There's so much I miss. We just do it over.
But listen, you getting back though, man,
Coming
because
back.
you discovered
Coming
the
back.
gluten-free diet. Okay, and when you went
You're in
gluten-free,
the medical field. I mean, isn't water good for you? Or if I missed that too?
Sure.
Okay.
okay, let me say this:
Fit as a fiddle.
6-day-old milk jug water is probably not. There's probably organisms growing in that thing that.
Aged.
Okay, well,
I like it.
I mean, it's going to be distilled if you leave it in there much longer into something. How long you been drinking on that same jug now?
No, I topped it off today. That's fresh at the
Okay,
top.
I'm sorry. I thought you treated it like pizza. DJ will not eat pizza until it's about 2 days old.
I like it marbled.
That's gross.
No, it's delicious. It's a delicacy, is what it is. It really is.
Well,
I just vomited in my mouth.
I tell you what, we got some jelly beans somewhere. Where are those jelly beans?
hey, I'm gonna tell you this too, and that's another announcement we're gonna make here in just a minute, so as well. But have you ever taken or partaken in the bean boozled challenge?
Mm-mm.
Well, if I had them here right now, we would all.
When the quads get here, y'all have to play.
Yes.
Yeah.
It will be a great time.
Yes.
Can they come and be a guest on your show when they come?
They absolutely
Yeah,
can.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a
That'd
lot of
be
energy. That'd be
fun.
great. That'd be great.
That'd be a ratings booster like you can't imagine.
I think we should set that up. I think that'd be
Let's do
fun.
it.
Yeah.
Book it.
This summer.
Please.
Book it.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I was sitting there trying to think. We can get. We'll just put lapel mics on them, let them run around, and they can just talk and say
Take it
whatever.
back old school. Get them Mr. Microphones.
There you go. We can do that.
Where it all started.
Yeah, I swear it all. It's funny. I actually been on eBay trying to find one of those things.
Any luck?
Like when they stick.
The old school Mr. Microphone was a microphone, had an antenna that you pulled out of the bottom of it, big long metal one. You press the button on the side of it, and back in those days, we all had boom boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And you would come over the boom box through a radio station. You could talk like you were on the radio. And so that's kind of where that whole pirate radio station thing got started, was from the Mr. Microphone. So, yeah, that was nothing medically in part of that. That was more getting shocked and that type of thing. So, but it was kind of where all this started with me, was that Mr. Microphone thing. But you know what? I have found a couple on eBay, and they want like $300 or $400 for them. And I'm like,
Sounds like a deal.
well, yeah. That's like an original Teddy Ruxpin. You remember those things?
I do.
Have you
I had one of those.
Have you seen what those things? Have you seen what original Teddy Ruxpin brings on eBay? It is stupid, man. And it was a talking bear. The best I can remember.
I had to. This program is going out on Twitter today. Is that correct?
That is correct.
I had a request last night to see if it could also go out on MySpace. Is there any chance of it being there as well?
Well, I
Is
tell
there
you,
such a thing anymore? This must be.
I'll tell you this: if
It's showing your age a little bit.
it's possible, we'll try it. I mean,
I'm just throwing it out there, man. You know, the people make requests, and we try to accommodate where we can, when we can.
Who is still on MySpace? I just want to know. Come up in the thread and
I'm
let
not
me
going
know.
to call him by name, but it rhymes.
No, Holly, I'm
It
serious.
rhymes with
I
Trevor
love radio.
Youngblood, but I will not call him by name.
Too young. Trevor, still on MySpace. Well, you know, I didn't know MySpace was still going. So that's pretty good. I didn't know that. Great. Tell us, you know, kind of what would be your message to people that may or may not have been up and seen, you know, use your services, or that may, you know, just, let's be honest. I mean, some people, I hear this all the time. I don't get sick a lot, you know, that kind of thing or what have you. But so if they do, what would be your message to people that may have not been in there, and you know, painless, fast, quick, easy? You know, what?
Oh, yeah. We are open after your physician's office is closed, number one. Number two, we do provide hopefully a quick service. Now, I will say sometimes when we get a lot of people at once, it can be a little delayed, but that's atypical. Secondly, we provide services that other facilities may not. We have x-ray on site resulting right there, lab work resulting in the hospital during your visit. From that point, we can make a diagnosis. For example, if a patient has pain in one of in their leg, and we do lab work, and the lab work shows that they might have a blood clot. We can send them to the emergency room very, very easily in a wheelchair, have an ultrasound done, and that diagnosis confirmed with ease. So, I think after hours, ease of treatment, quick treatment, nice staff, and just the support of this town that we love in the hospital, that is just so wonderful. It's just so nice to support something that you believe in a town like this. Y'all spent this past week having people come together for a fun contest, and everybody needs to come together and support our beloved after-hours clinic and hospital and support Bruton.
Well said.
Well said. Well said. You got anything else for us, Greg?
Not today. Thank y'all so much for having me. And I just want you to know the day of the race, you'll see
May 19th.
May 19th. I'm going to get my team togetger.
Great.
Yeah. Great run.
Great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for sitting in with us. And I'm going to talk about a few things with DJ, so I'll let you exit over that way if you want to. And that way
Sure.
you don't have to sit here and be embarrassed by being DJ anymore. Because I know that you will, don't want to hear any more about the medulla oblongata.
I don't want that.
Trust me, you don't want it.
I want you to research that.
Man,
Wow.
that
Greg
was
Garrett,
fun. Yeah, that was fun.
The
Great.
female.
Gray's good people.
Yes.
So
Yes,
is
she
Kirk's
is.
brother.
Yes. So let's talk about a few things. BMP. Let's talk about a few things.
There's two things I need to hit on just real quick.
Hit them.
And I was asked to do it, and I said I would.
Hit 'em.
I want to congratulate the Lady Canes at Flomaton for winning the county softball tournament yesterday. Coach Misty Nims over at the junior college here at Coastal Alabama Community College in Bruton. They host that county tournament every year for all the girls to come play at. It's a good deal. In Flomaton, it went their way this year. So congratulations to the Lady Canes. And I have in my hand, brought to me by one of the OGs, Sherry Weaver. I have two $1 bills, one from Sherry, one from Carrie Hart, and a riddle or a poem.
Okay.
The fans have voted. We don't want to be done. Dash for cash was too much fun. Now there's 11,400 of us, and if we all put in $1, we'll all have another chance to be the big winner and do the happy dance. We've gotten used to the excitement, waiting on the clues. Now that's over. We all have the blues. I'm getting the next dash started from the heavy-hearted. Here's my $1 bill to start the pot. Now y'all get busy and find the next spot.
Well, there you go.
$2 right now. For the
There you
next
go.
one.
Well, okay. There you go.
We'll see where it goes.
We'll see where it goes.
I still think there's an egg down by the message center. I'm going down there at lunch today to check it.
You might want to do that.
I think it's right beside that big crane
You need to.
where they just poured the new concrete.
Yep. That's a pad.
It is a pad.
All right. So let's talk about Rovin Rob.
Yes. Gosh.
Rovin Rob
A star.
became a living legend in the last couple weeks. And I want to tell you something, a more humble guy, you've never seen, good guy, great guy, a lot of fun. We've all had a lot of fun watching Rob's post and listening to Rob and his analogies and his things. Of course, we have contracted Rovin Rob with BMP, and I'm happy to say and to let you know that Rovin Rob will and still is going to be going live most every day, at some point every day. And there's some other things in the work with Rovin Rob.
That's good to hear.
Yes, there's some other things in the work. So I won't, don't want anybody to think that the Rovin Rob reports are gone or the clobbering time or any of that. They're not gone. They're still here. he's still here, and Roving Rob is going to be doing his deal like he knows how to do, and we're going to make sure that we keep Roving Rob busy. Now, back to another point, I saw where Lexi's mom posted earlier. Lexi was going to start a youth beautification program.
One of the great things that came out of this.
Yeah, and I want to lead. I saw that, and I want to lead into that with this. If nothing else, we got to see a lot of people, a lot of kids out picking up litter and trash, and not just the Bruton community, but in all the communities that were involved in the hunt. And for that, we, DJ and myself, say thank you. It was, much, much, much appreciated. And today we're going to get together, and we're going to announce the first and second place winners of the Dash for Trash. And so it will be posted up on, of course, the Drive Time page, my page, of course, the Bossman Productions page. It will be posted there. It's not hard to keep our community clean. It's not. And, that's one thing that, really made me proud to see was all those people out picking up trash.
So many people.
A lot. And
there will be people that won't get recognized that did their share also, I can assure you.
There are a lot of people that should be recognized. We're going to, the Dash for Trash will be, the winners, first and second place will be announced today sometime, and we'll put that out there. I also want to recognize all of the local and city officials with the cities that were involved in the hunting area. I want to say thank you for allowing, that to go on. I can tell you, Mayor Lovelace was extremely supportive of it, as well as TC, Mayor Clark. I'm sorry, he works here, and I'm used to calling him TC. So, they both of them were extremely supportive in it. Had nothing but support from all these communities that I've heard from, and I do want to say we appreciate that very much so. Because of the way that people played and the way people enjoyed themselves, and the way that we all came together there over the weekend and picked up trash and made our towns look better. I think there's more to come of this type of thing. Okay. And the Dash for Cash was a big success. And I'm not saying it because of me. I'm saying it because of you guys. They made it possible. The hunters, the donors, everybody involved, you guys made all of that possible. And there will be more. There is a bigger event being planned right now. And I haven't even spoke to DJ about it. Okay. So there's a bigger event being planned right now.
Well, just because the Dash is over, I certainly hope this does not stop the momentum that we have in terms of just enjoying each other's company. We're still going to be at the ballparks. We're still going to be at the retail shops. We're going to be at the restaurants. It costs nothing to be decent and nice.
No.
Hold a door open, shake a hand, offer a hello. I hope that'll continue.
Well, here's why I'm going with that too. I want to go to here with that as well. I want to, and I haven't cleared this with the mayor yet, but I'm going to ask him, and I would hope for his support, and I believe he would. I want to get together a Dash picnic, gathering, whatever you want to call it, down at maybe Jennings Park or Oban or somewhere, for anybody that participated in the hunt, the donors, whoever. Let's all go down there. Let's pick us a weekend, and on a Saturday afternoon, and let's go down there and what I'd like to do is, if we could get maybe the projector and the screen to set it up, and let's put up a lot of the pictures that were taken during the dash, and a lot of the memes that were put out, which some were fantastic. A lot of the posts that were absolutely just hilarious and amazing and great. With people doing good things in our community. And there's Burnham calling it. And hold on a second, Burnham. I didn't hook the phone thing up.
And we could follow it up with maybe showing Porky's.
Man,
that'd be a good time.
Listen, hold on, Burnham. Let me get this thing. I didn't even think about. I was in a rush, and I didn't even think about.
I wouldn't knock yourself out to take it, but whatever you want to do.
Well, I'm gonna hold on. He's gonna think I cut him off, which I did. But okay, Captain. Here, I'm calling him.
Hello.
Okay, I didn't hook the thing up. I'm sorry. So I had to hook it up and call you back. But you're live on Drive Time.
Well, I was calling about Lexi. And not only Lexi, I was so touched that Sunday when I was at the 109 waiting for David and he chickened out and didn't show. I decided to ride the football for
Hey.
just because I hadn't been down there in so long, and I come up with a group of young men down there. They were also cleaning, and it was an awesome sight to see. But and I wish I had all their names, but I don't. They know who they are. I posted on y'all's Drive Time about them. They actually, unprompted from me, unsolicited by me, unbullied by me, they actually declared Cobra Kai. Those young men did. So thank them for doing that. Lexi,
so wait a minute. So wait a minute. You're now admitting that you bully. Is that what you just said? Unbullied by me.
Well, I mean, if talking and persuading somebody to do something that they don't want to do is bullying, then yes, I'm a bully.
Well, if you sweep the leg and you kick old people down,
Zig Ziglar would be a.
I'm gonna run to the head real quick. Every good car salesman would be a bully in that case, right?
Well, so I don't know any car salesmen that are bullies. I really don't. And secondly,
most car salesmen talk people into undercoating. Do we really need undercoating?
No, I'll tell you what we do. We don't talk people into anything. We help people buy. We don't sell anything. We help people buy things.
Okay, well then that's exactly what I do. I help people realize and make the best decision that it's Team T-Bone, it's Cobra Kai, it's not Donut. See, y'all totally ignored my question asking Gray, what's better for you, a T-Bone or a Donut?
Gray.
Just think about
Tony
that.
Burnham wants to know. Hold on. She's still here. Hold on. Tony Burnham wants to know, Gray, what's better for you, a T-bone or a donut? She is thinking about this answer.
Because she's in your presence and you're a bully.
No. You're the only admitted bully here, not me.
Tell her it's already been shown and proven that I can get some Tampa to Gruden in about 30 minutes if she needs it.
I would agree.
She said
the key word there is fat.
Has more fat and cholesterol than the donut
100%.
So
not to mention, he's not even he's processed meat. He's given himself that name T-Bone. He was never called T-Bone. You know where it came from. May 19th can't get here quick enough. I want May 19th to get here so quick I can't stand it.
It comes from the guy who carries.
This is going down the wrong road, I can tell you. I'm not going to listen to his mouth much longer.
Wait a minute. It comes from the guy what?
It comes from the guy who's carrying that show every morning, and his name is King James.
Yeah, I came up.
Tape on that too.
I'm gonna tell you something.
I came up with that after you came up with the bozo and cookie picture there, pal. After I come in and told DJ, I said, "Man, Tony's tearing you up on Facebook." And he said, "Yeah, well, guess what? He's tearing you up too." And
so you can go all the way back. You can go all the way back to probably 1987, 88. Alan Tudyk used to call me that as well. So
here we go.
Did he just drop Chip's name? Did he just drop Chip's name?
This is y'all like tag team. Don't worry, I'm gonna have me a tag team partner for long. Don't worry, and we're gonna make a big splash. So here we go.
Well, you're gonna make a big splash because you're a big guy. You're a fat guy. You heard the medical professional say that you were a fat guy. That's what she said. That wasn't me. There's no script. She said it.
I did not hear that part. But here's what I
go watch it.
Here's what I called in for. Okay, Kyle. Here's what I called in for. Lexi is officially knighted as Team Cobra Kai. And on May the 19th, before I blow your doors at the 109, I'm going to present her with her official Cobra Kai No Mercy t-shirt. I think what she did is outstanding. And I have read and heard that she is going to try to start a youth movement for city beautification. That is what a leader is about. A leader does not sit back and say, let's let chips fall where they may. A leader goes out and is proactive.
Well, we can agree on what we think of Lexi. We can agree on that.
That's the type of person that is a Cobra.
Hold on just a minute, T-Bone. Hold on.
Cut him off.
No, just hold on.
Ahead.
Hazel, you're on live with Drive Time.
Lord.
I am not on live with Drive Time.
Yes, you
You're
are.
sitting in your office.
No.
You're sitting in office drinking a Red Bull.
No, you're on live with Drive Time. Matter of fact, hold on tight. Wait a minute. Hold on.
What time are you getting here with the quads?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Hazel, you're on live with T-Bone, Tony Burnham, and live with KJ and DJ right here on Drive Time.
This is going to be bad.
I'm really looking forward to the 109. I'm going to bring ice and wraps, and I think I'm going to have Zeke there just in case something goes really bad.
Here's what I would suggest. I would suggest bringing a pillowcase.
A pillowcase
Because y'all may
DJ to sleep?
a pillowcase, because y'all going to have to stick DJ in there and take him to the morgue with it. Because it's going to be a bloodbath down there. An absolute bloodbath.
Let me guess, you're in Tampa.
I think you probably got some wheels, but I think Burnham might get you. He looks like he's getting on his felt. He's starting to drop some LBs. He's wearing like
Hayes, you weren't at the YMCA Friday night, or excuse me, Thursday night. Just be there on May 19th, and we'll see.
I've lost 20 pounds. Whoa. Now,
wait a minute.
What did he say?
Wait.
What did he just say?
Wait.
He's lying here on the internet.
You've lost how much?
20 pounds.
100 pounds.
Well, that puts you down to 310.
20.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you've lost 20 pounds.
20, yeah, okay, yeah.
I'm good with that. I was going to say, if you lost 100 pounds, then I'm telling you right now, I've got a 28 waist pants on right now.
That 20 pounds is out of his forehead. That's where he lost that 20 from. He lost 20 in his forehead. Or 5 head.
Well, I could have, I could lose 100 pounds and still be about 180. I don't need to get that small. I don't need to get that small.
Listen, and then you woke up.
I'm about 280 right now. I'm about 280 right now. I was well up over 300, but when we started this, I lost about 20 pounds.
DJ, what do you
as many gyms as you've checked into, you should be down to about 210.
Well, DJ, what do you weigh? I'm putting on muscle.
I'm about 185, 190-ish.
Wow.
Yeah, there's only 3 feet tall.
That's a true statement.
Hey.
I drink a lot of water.
And he wears a medium custom fit shirt.
Athletic
medium
fit.
long.
Athletic fit.
I noticed that. It looked tight.
It's triple X extra short.
It's a FUBU extra short.
Here's what I want you buffoons to do. I want y'all to find Lexi's page.
Now we're
and I want y'all to talk about that.
We will.
That's a wonderful thing. Now, I'm an Alabamian, but I live during the week down in Florida. And here's one of the things, being serious for a second. Here's one of the things I've noticed. And I noticed it right off the bat when I got down here. There is no litter in most of the places I've been in Florida. You don't see a lot of it on the interstates. You don't see a lot of it on toll roads. You don't see a lot of it in the cities. And it really does affects your disposition and your mood when you're in a place that's clean. It's not junked up. And, that's why I always hate going to David's house whenever I use the DJ's domicile public toilet, which, by the way, if anybody's still out looking, I recommend going there if you're incontinent or have IBS, serious IBS problems. DJ's domicile is a great public toilet there in Brewton that you can use.
Well, here's what you forgot to do. You forgot to close your tab at the Groove the other night. So everybody that's in town this weekend, go to the Groove, drinks on T-Bone. It's open. So get you some of that.
Yeah, I don't know. They're having this coming weekend is Cobra Kai weekend at the Groove.
Cobra Kai weekend. Come one, come all.
Right. That's right.
Drinks are on the T-Bone.
Drinks on the Kais.
Hey. Also, real under the bus. If you go in there and say, I'm a Kai, you get 5% off of your time, all that.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, guys. Well, look here. We're going to get Lexi's page found, and we're going to get it talked up, and we got to get out of here.
Got to go.
Yeah, we I'll tell you, we've run over, but we had a great guest on, and so we certainly had to do that. And
hey, just to let you know, I teed up $200 to get it going. So just
for the next one,
no chance of ever finding it, but I already put $200 in on the next one.
We're up to 202.
Okay, well,
Ken's ecstatic.
You'll have to go back to your Dr. Seuss book and ask more food.
Yeah. That's right. And I'll tell you, Dr. Zeus was a lot of help in all that for sure. Hey, T-Bone.
Dr. Dre.
Yeah, him and Dr. That's right. Well, I couldn't put those in there. But anyway, Hazel.
I can guarantee you that wasn't an AP class he was reading to.
I promise you.
He will never be invited to an AP class. That means
I was on second hall for a reason,
hey,
pal.
I'll have you know I was on advanced diploma, pal. I'll tell you right now, I was in the top 20 of the bottom of my class. And I had some winners in 92, let me tell you. Hazel can talk about some of them.
Hey, I've got a picture of Hayes, by the way.
Yeah.
I have a great picture of Hayes.
Hey, listen.
The bad news bears.
Thank y'all for calling in. We'll catch up with y'all later. Like I said, we got to get out of here, and we'll catch up with y'all later sometime.
Cobra Kai.
See ya.
Out. Good Lord.
I knew it was a bad idea to take the call.
I know.
Bad idea.
And maybe it was, and I probably shouldn't have. But anyway, we got to go, DJ.
Let's get out of here. We want to appreciate Jim Peach Motors, Peach Chevrolet.
Overstayed our welcome.
We're bringing drive time once again. Tony Burnham has an open tab at the Groove. It'll be open throughout the weekend. Feel free to go down and have a couple, but do it responsibly.
Want to thank everybody again for playing the Dash for Cash. We will be announcing later on this afternoon the winner of the Dash for Trash. First place and second place provided by Mayor Yank Lovelace. So keep your eye on the drive time page. Keep your eye on a lot of things, because a lot of things will start happening. Roving Rob, looking for you this afternoon. DJ.
See y'all tomorrow. Have a good one.
Thank you for tuning in to Drive Time, live from the Peach Pit in historic Brewton, Alabama. Remember to tune in every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m.-ish. Remember to like and share the Drive Time videos, as the more you like and share, the more chances you have to win.